Hello everyone, this is Susanna from Hold It Right There Sewing Patterns. In this Skill Builder video tutorial, I will show you how to create a unique adjustable strap using two fabrics in 4 common hardware widths. This video supports the free sewing pattern I've created to make the strap. This pattern is available free of charge to subscribers of my newsletter. To get your copy of the pattern, subscribe to my newsletter at the link below. After subscribing, you'll receive your digital copy in your email inbox. Download the copy, save it, and follow along. Once you've determined the width of the strap that you want to make and gathered your hardware, refer to the supply list for the quantity of fabric and interfacing, and then take a look at the cutting chart for the dimensions for the strap width you chose. If you don't have or don't like to use a rotary cutter, ruler, and cutting mat, I have provided printable sewing pattern pieces for the strap and interfacing. Be sure to note the printing tips on the cover page of your pattern to ensure that the pattern pieces print out at the accurate size. Then cut out the fabric pieces along the solid lines, the interfacing pieces along the dashed lines. The pattern pieces will need to be assembled. Join the pattern pieces together, matching where marked, and then use glue or tape to connect. The measurements in the pattern are provided for ease of use. With that explanation out of the way, go ahead now and cut all the fabric and interfacing you need for your strap. Locate the 2 Fabric 1 strap pieces. Place the ends of the strap pieces right sides together, perpendicular to each other. I am going to use a friction pen, or you can use another fabric marker, to draw my stitching line. So it's a 45-degree angle, crisscrossing across from corner to corner, and I'm using my ruler to draw this. I just find I'm much more accurate if I have a line to sew along. And then I'm pinning the 2 pieces together. I'm now going to sew the pieces together along that 45-degree angle line that I just drew. I went ahead and pressed the seam allowances open, and I am now going to trim the overhanging seam allowances so that they are even with the rest of the strap pieces. I'm using my rotary cutter, ruler, and cutting mat to do this, but scissors will work just as well. There's still a lot of extra seam allowance even though it's even with the edges of the strap. So I am going to trim further, and I'm using pinking shears because my fabric is a linen blend and it's prone to unraveling. Whether you have just joined 2 pieces, multiple pieces, or used 1 continuous length of fabric, trim now the total length to 55 inches or 139.7 centimeters. Repeat with the fabric 2 strap pieces. Right sides together, pin or clip one long side of the fabric 1 strap piece to a long side of the fabric 2 strap piece. Sew using the seam allowance provided in the pattern. Be sure to backstitch at the beginning and end. I'm using a magnetic seam guide for a sewing machine that I picked up on Amazon, and this just helps me to keep my stitches even. Take care as you're sewing over top of the press seams. You want them to remain open. They can fold over as you're sewing if you're not careful, and then this just creates some bulk. I'm almost done with this long seam. I am going to backstitch at the end, and then the next step is to press the seam open. Off camera, I will take this to my ironing board and get this long seam nicely pressed. Center the interfacing on the wrong side of the strap, overlapping the interfacing segments as needed. Be sure that there is a frame of fabric without interfacing on all sides. Refer to the sewing pattern for the measurement. Trim the interfacing as needed, and then fuse the interfacing following manufacturer's instructions. I will now fold over and press the edges on all sides of the strap. I'm going to use the interfacing as a pressing guide. And again, refer to the pattern instructions for the measurement of how far the fold is. Off camera, I will finish folding over all 4 edges, so both long sides and both short sides pressed over top of the interfacing. Next, fold the strap in half, matching the long folded edges. Pin or clip together. All the raw edges will now be folded inward and hidden between the layers. Here's what my strap looks like now, folded in half, clipped together, and you can see that all the raw edges are tucked inward. The edges, I'm going to nudge inward as I sew using a stiletto tool. You can also use a seam ripper to do this. I'm going to now top stitch along all 4 sides of the strap. Here's a view of the stiletto tool in action. I'm using it to push the raw edges so that they are hidden between the layers of the strap. And you'll also notice that I am pivoting at each corner, meaning that when I reach a corner or an end of the strap, I keep my needle in a down position, lift up the presser foot, move my strap, put the presser foot down, and resume sewing. I switched to my walking foot attachment just because it is able to handle thicker layers, and it really helps to keep the layers from shifting as I sew. Here's a view of my top stitched strap, and it is now ready for its hardware. We're going to begin with the slide. Pass one end of the strap through the right side of the slide, over the center bar of the slide, and then through the left side of the slide. Turn the strap over. Pin or clip the finished edge of the strap. Sew the finished edge through all layers of the strap, securing the slide hardware in place. I decided to sew 2 rows of stitching for reinforcement. Rivets are another great option for holding the strap in place instead of stitching. Insert the remaining free end of the strap into one swivel hook. Next, pass the same end of the strap through the slide, first through the right side of the slide, and then through the left side of the slide. You can now use the slide hardware to adjust the strap length as you prefer. Insert the remaining end of the strap into the second swivel hook. Fold over approximately 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters of the strap end over the swivel hook and pin or clip in place. Secure the swivel hook to the strap by sewing through all layers. Your double-sided adjustable strap is now complete and ready to clip to your bag. I made this strap to go on my Ember crossbody bag. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. If so, please like and subscribe, and be sure to check out all my sewing patterns on my website linked below. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing!